The President appointed the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, as the acting Inspector General of Police with immediate effect. However, Nigerians have taken to social media to express their views about the termination of the appointment of Muhammad Adamu as Inspector General of Police. The appointment is coming at exactly 2 months and 3 days into the 3-month extension, which he had asked for or lobbied for at the time. Now, what are your general thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also 0913-9076-948. You can tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your VTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so everybody is quite concerned about the abrupt sacking of the current IGP, and especially because we're in the middle of a crisis. You know,
everywhere.
He was in Imo trying to get some kind of resolution to what happened in Imo with the police stations being burnt down. And out of the blue, we heard that the president has sacked him. And people are saying, is this just how we do things here? I mean, his tenure had ended in February. And I remember then they were saying, asking for an extension, and they were saying that, oh, the president is within his powers to extend his tenure, which he did for 3 months. So what are your thoughts? For us, we don't really care why he was removed. And the issue is how.
But we should care.
How?
We should care about everything that happens with security in this country, because Nigeria is largely a very unsafe country at this moment, and we must achieve that. Everybody is literally, we wake up, we sleep with the consciousness of the fact that we're not safe. Like we are praying every day for basics of, I hope we get to my location safely, I hope I don't get kidnapped, you know, that kind of thing. So we have a crisis on ground, and we had that crisis before his tenure was elongated. It was even the reason we felt that why should there be a lacuna? There was like a 48 hours lacuna. We took the show asking why did the president wait until his term expired, waited until after. People were not asking, there is no legal head of the police now. Then the president now came in a kind of reactive position to say, we are extending you for the next 3 months. Now some people are saying he lobbied for the extension. Then suddenly a man is actively trying to resolve issues that are happening across the country, and then in between that action, he probably did not even know he was already fired.
The reason why I say we don't, the how isn't so important, because listen, we want there to be a resolution concerning insecurity. Yes, so if your boss feels that you're incapable of it, he has the prerogative to say, you know what, I'm sacking you. My issue is, yes, in the interest of the country, you can sack, and that's your prerogative. But how it's done is there's a ripple effect on how we Nigerians even see how things are done in this country. Was it the right thing for him to just sack him without even...
Did the president sack him from London? Let's even think about that. Like,
because
he did not hand over. So there are many things wrong. Like there's all shades of it, but I know that...
Let me say that how it's done in terms of sacking, how is it done in terms of appointment? Because I hear that you can just be in your house, you just see your name announced on television, that you have been appointed into a position in the country.
We've seen it now.
Yeah, it happens over time. But the thing for me is, I personally, when I saw this, I just laughed. I said, for me, this is not a sack. I do not see it as a sack. He has expired. He had finished his tenure, and it was extended. And I'm sure that when that extension came, it came with agreements. They had a discussion that you're just here in the interim, likely 3 months, while we'll find someone else to fill in the gap. So at any time the person is ready, you can go. I want to believe that it's not like they pulled the rug under his feet. He was aware that any moment he would go. And understanding the way the president operates, he should have been expecting that anywhere I am, they can just call me that I am done. So that is not a sack for me. What is my own, what I am thinking about is, because I listened to, I read about the Ohaneze Ndibo saying that we had appealed that the southeastern person was given, you know, this position.
Oh yes, that's another point.
Yeah, so to just show that there's no nepotism going on, that the president is neutral and he wants to. But I looked through the CV of the person who has been appointed, and I saw that he's a graduate, he has masters, he may be able to do the job. I do not know who is supposed to be in line before him. I do not know how the president does his selection. We know that he works with people he feels he knows. So
he's still another Muslim. You sacked another Muslim, That's an issue.
In the place of equity. That's in a country that is heated and everybody is fighting for secession, fighting for actualization of their own state
region.
In this
anyway,
country.
For me, my own opinion is Nigeria does what Nigeria does. Again. Because I was looking for the anger, the outrage. I was trying to dig it out of me. It's everyday story. This is how we do things. There's no process. There's no due process being followed. Nothing is the way it's meant to be. Constitutions are we just don't care. Someday, somebody wakes up on one side of the bed and decide that this person will be given an extension for 3 months. He's right in the middle of doing something, and then you put someone else. If I worked for government, if I was asked to work for government, I would refuse because it's so embarrassing.
It can mess you up.
Yes, it just does not make sense. How do you do that? Okay, so now you now bring in this person. How comfortable should this person feel in doing their job?
Yeah.
What should give this person any incentive to put in their best to do this job? Because in 2 weeks he can just be asked to leave, and for no just cause. I was just reading. Sorry.
Yeah.
So many people are trying to come up with different reasons why this may be. Maybe it may be a very valid reason why he was just taking out of the blue, and many people are saying it's because of what's been happening in the Southeast. He was given a mandate to do his job properly, and these fights and these killings and this burning of police stations in the Southeast may have caused it. Secondly, some people are saying that there was a report in the Daily Trust on Saturday that sort of opened up about how the police is being run operationally, funds are not being passed to those that they are meant to. And I'm saying, what happened at the time what happened to these investigations before you gave him that 3 months extension? Why were you giving him a 3 months extension if it was being investigated for things like this?
These are not even facts. The president, this is not, all this, what she just read at, what the Daily Trust is saying, what the Daily Trust did, all of these are not facts. Like the president did not categorically say, these are the reasons.
So that's what we're waiting for. We haven't heard from him.
I'm saying that he doesn't really owe us an explanation on how you can actually.
No, he does. He does owe us why.
Listen, because he's as I was saying, he's the president, right? He can choose to hire and fire. That is his own. Because in the interest of, that's why we appointed him. Your job as the president. You can appoint. Did we ask him why did you appoint Minister of Finance? Did we ask her? Okay, yes, she has a CV, but do we know the reasons? We don't know the reasons. The point I'm trying to make is that is the how that I think is a real issue for me, because even Ozekome was saying that according to, let me read exactly what lawyer Ozekome was saying. He said that the president lacks the power to single-handedly appoint an IGP. And according to him, he said that Section 7, Subsection 6, and 18, Subsection 8 of the Nigeria Police Act, in addition with the provision of the Section 214 of the Constitution, is saying that the president cannot single-handedly appoint an IGP, as he has again unconstitutionally done, because he can only do it in conjunction with the Nigeria Police Council, comprising of the president as chairman and all the 36 state governors, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, and the IGP. So there has to be a collaborative effort before that can be done.
The Minister of Police Affairs has disclosed to the State House correspondent that the president has the right to, it's his prerogative, he can do. And so we now have a case of someone saying it's not legal. This is the Constitution? And the Minister of Police Affairs is saying it is constitutional. Can we take it to Supreme Court and confirm how that goes? In between that also, for successful transition of power, there should be a process where you hand over. There should be, because even if you understand the state of affairs, because he's actively worked in the police, doesn't mean that he understands the scope of work across the nation. And we have crises going on everywhere. So you cannot have a case of somebody receiving, there's an acting IGP now, and the current IGP was in Imo State. He was speaking. And so it invalidates
for you to be an IGP, you already have, there's a DIG, so you know what is going on. The same we asked the same president to sack the service chiefs. All of us are saying, please sack them. Then he replaced them. Did we ask him, how did you, or why did you?
No. Morayo, this is a very unique case. You finally, when he sacked the service chief, there were talks, there were conversations, there were meetings with stakeholders. We knew there was a process going on. We knew where it was going to when he finally decided to. So we knew where it was headed. But with this one, you gave us When the whole of Nigeria was like, how dare you leave us without a head of police? You said we have given him a 3-month extension. That's what you told Nigerians. And you explained to us, and everyone say, oh, yes, you have the right to do that. And then right in the middle of it, we should get an explanation to the why. Oh, you know, this person that we gave an extension, we just found out that he has done this and done this, or he has failed within the 3 months, and so we have done this. Right. We have heard nothing, and the president was not here. The vice president wasn't even on in Abuja when this new head of
so goes back to the how it was done.
Is the process we're talking about.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation and take some calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this issue of how the IGP was sacked and a new one appointed, and the fact that Nigerians are still complaining that there hasn't been ethnic equity across appointments in this country, and that's a major problem for Nigerians at this time. BC, you want to add something to this?
Yes, so I know that the president is not someone who would just change his mind. When he makes up his mind, he does something, he just goes about it, and there's nothing anybody can do. So instead of us, you know, lamenting or talking about the why and the how, trust me, nobody's going to come out and give you that explanation, not our president. He has done it, he has moved on. I think I would like us to focus more on, now that the new IGP has been, you know, appointed, what are some of the expectations we have of him? He's getting into this seat right now. There are pockets of, you know, activities that are happening against insecurity. Insecurity is, you know, really rife in different parts of the country. What is he going to do about it? What sort of results are we going to expect from him? Now, I'd mentioned earlier that the Ohanes and Igbo are really upset about this appointment, saying that this is not showing equity in any form. I do not know how the president will listen. He has appointed. I do not know if he's going to be called to call him back and put somebody of an Igbo extraction there. Yeah, he's still acting, but we know how this thing's going. In a few months now, he will be given that position. So I do not want us to dwell on that. I want us to dwell on what do we expect.
You acting. They have left us acting before.
And then he puts somebody else. So I don't know, because even the two bodies that are supposed to fight this appointment as acting, the Minister of Police and the National Assembly, I will say one person is saying it's constitutional, the other person is saying it's not constitutional. So we're not going to have two people come together in agreement to fight this appointment. Right, let's focus on the job. Can he do the job?
Okay, let's again. Are you there? Thanks for calling. Are you there? Hey, are you there? I can't hear you. It's pretty low.
Oh, I can hear you loud and
clear. Okay, go ahead, please. You're live.
Yeah, I just want to agree with Obiajulu. First and foremost, let me greet all of you there. The issue of Grant is the IG was not sacked. IG is not sacked.
Okay.
He has been retired. These are military, these are paramilitary. If you were to be a civilian, they would have appointed the permanent secretary to act on his behalf before a new minister or a new director is appointed. But because he's a military man and he's a uniform man, that was why he was just acting. And two, one thing you must understand is that the president have not, he only nominates. It's left for the Senate now. They will now finalize his appointment. That is just only what I just want to let the gathering there to know that he was not sacked. He has retired. If he were to be a civilian, since you were retired, you push out. A permanent secretary will act. But in the paramilitary, you don't have a permanent secretary. And you can't just appoint. You have to look. And the police commission has a police commission who will look into all these things. That's just my only contribution this morning. Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. There's this conspiracy of silence that our leaders are so used to, where things happen and you just rather keep quiet. You know, at the point of his retirement, if we heard from the president, say, okay, I'm going to extend it for the next 3 months while I look for a proper appointed, a new IGP, or the reason why I'm taking this man down is because of XYZ. Give us information. I think they enjoy people just talking and having various opinions and having people tempers flying all over the place saying, oh, is this, oh, is that. The truth is, imagine if this new appointed acting IG came out to speak to us. Now, listen, I have been given this role. This is what I'm going to do. This is what's happening in Imo. I'm going to go with my men. I'm going to do this here. This is happening in the Southwest. We see some kind of leadership. Then we think, okay, maybe this thing was done right. But when there's just total silence, okay, it's been appointed, and we just keep quiet. But then we begin to think of different reasons. Why was it done? Was this political? Is this somebody's? Was this avengers against somebody? Like, talk to us.
I think
there's not just to keeping quiet.
I think that we have watched too much CNN. So I've gotten used to responsive, information-based kind of leadership. You know, we've watched too much international news.
They watch CNN too now.
Hey, but Morayo, they don't know that we have become that exposed, that we are now a Sorosoke age. Like, they're not used to this new generation of Nigerians that now ask and demand questions. And I think we mustn't let their silence make us feel like we're not consequential. We can't continue to ask questions. We must continue to ask questions until they realize we will not stop. And then they might start getting used to the fact that they have to reply us. That's on one side. On the other side is the military isn't used to talking. Like, do you know, it's been tough trying to get a military official to come here and talk about what Nigerians can do to help them. The police, military, they don't talk. They just feel like it's better, you cannot understand.
We have our tactics.
We don't share these things. But it's important, even if they don't share the tricks and how they are going to do it. For the level of insecurity people are feeling in this country, it would make a lot of sense for our IGP to speak to us and make us feel like...
I think we're giving them too much credit. We think that actually there's an agenda and they have sat this out and they have thought it through. And so they just are not used to talking. I think the honest to God truth is like you and I, they're just scrambling around for what, that's what is happening. It just shows to me, because whenever they do have something to say, they are quick to come out and they will lay it out and tell you over and over again. But usually when they are unprepared. So the silence that you hear is true silence. Many of them, all the others stakeholders that are supposed to be involved, they're supposed to know. We're not in the know. Like you and I too, they were watching on TV. Like the former IGP now, they say he just got off the plane before he found out. So like many other people, until today, we'll start hearing from people exactly what went down.
So I think...
right, okay, so let me take this call. Shoaib, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Morayo. And
morning.
Right. Yeah, I want to react to what Obagili said.
Yes.
About the appointment of the acting IG.
Yes.
I want you to consider what Goodluck Jonathan have done during his term, when GC position and other post positions were appointed from the south and then southeast and southwest. These people didn't talk about it. And now you are talking about, and if you have talked about it and you're 100% follower, unlike journalists hang out where they do, if they do something they used to cut that time that they do, they will come and present it. If you really criticize Goodluck Jonathan, then you bring that your presentation of that time and then give it to us as a reference.
I don't get
Thank you very much.
I didn't get what he said.
So he's saying that when Jonathan was there, the former president, Jonathan, appointed people from the South, and we didn't complain. That if we have clips where we complained about it, we should bring it up.
Oh, it's online.
Let me tell you.
Oh, that one we can tell you.
I don't think anybody has been as bashed as President Jonathan
on this table.
Because I was here.
Yes.
And we were all against him because we felt there was a lot. And right now, we look at it in retrospect and felt like,
you know what? Let me tell you what's funny about this.
If we knew that,
we knew when we were going into fire.
There was a report I was going to take where Jonathan had actually visited the palace of the Emir of Bauchi. And President Jonathan was saying one of the reasons why it was so backward, that's former President Jonathan, one of the reasons why Nigeria is backward is because we practice favoritism over competence. And he said that during his time, he made sure that people were appointed based on, their skills and what they could bring to the table. It had nothing to do with, this is what he said. He said, many people feel that there are some ministries that are big and juicy and must be given to a special person, or that you have to know someone before you give him a responsibility role or put him somewhere. It is not like that with me. It is not my way of doing things. So that was Jonathan today saying he was not even like that.
I have to wrap up with this.
And that's why we are where
even
we are.
President Jonathan was saying also that the governor of Bauchi was one of the very few that stood by him. He was like, a lot of his aides left and abandoned him, but the Bauchi State Governor, Senator, the senator at the time, actually stood by him till now. I would like to address this caller because that's a Nigerian problem. We're having a conversation, and what somebody is saying is, oh, if you
last time you didn't talk about it, now
we
you're
are
talking
our
about
own
it.
problem. Because what we have stated is what Nigerians are saying about nepotism. Stop appointing people from a certain place. Let there be equity across, but that is a valid statement. But when somebody sees that and says, okay, when Jonathan was there, did you say that? That's our problem. We cannot even be objective in a conversation. Yes.
Good. I even wanted to, before this, the caller, I wanted to say that I think it's high time our leaders start learning the act of leadership. We are moving to a new generation, and times are changing. We, the electorates, are growing. We're becoming better informed. It would be unfair for us to have leaders who are clueless most of the time, who do not upgrade themselves in terms of how to follow due process and handle things. It will be unfair for us and for them as well. It's becoming embarrassing because the truth is the world is watching. They just say, Nigeria is a country where you pick, you choose, you throw, you kick, nothing happens. It's just like an animal.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up.
We are the ones that become leaders.
That's all we can take on this. But you see, listen, this whole thing, we are just used to it. That is the Nigerian story.
We have to change.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.